Mighty Radio.
Welcome all to this brand new edition of 5RoundMMA. My name is Alex Ramirez. Alongside me is my co-host Albert, seated on the phone long distance from sunny Orlando, California, in the Magic Kingdom. Is Guillermo seated? How's it going, man?
Good. I'm in Animal Kingdom. If you guys can hear the drums in the land of Africa.
Land of Africa. How's that Avatar land coming along?
It's coming along. It's still not open. 2017 is projected.
I want to know what MMA podcast will you get MMA debate and weekly updates about what's going on in the Magic Kingdom. I mean, is that not a hybrid of all hybrids, Albert? What do you think?
It's probably the best podcast because you get a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
And everybody knows a fight fan is a Disney fan.
Always. So this week's show got a lot to cover. We got to Tough 24 finale. Mighty Mouse continues to reign. Got the MMA Mixed Martial Arts Athletes Association is launched. Talk about Conor McGregor getting a boxing license, and the new UFC ownership continues to make moves. And if they're popular or not with the fans, they seem to don't care. It's all about cutting costs. So let's get started with round number one, gentlemen. So the MMA, the Mixed Martial Arts Athletes Association, announced on Wednesday that they were forming via press conference. It was Cain Velasquez, Donald Cerrone, George St. Pierre, Tim Kennedy, TJ Dillashaw, and led by former Bellator CEO, President Bjorn Ribney. They talked about basically wanting a 50-50 revenue share from the UFC and the fighters, better retirement, better medical. And just your guys' thoughts and reaction. We all pretty much saw it coming, right? When it was they teased it earlier, late last week. And just your thoughts on this announcement and if it'll succeed or not, guys.
Can we get the elephant out of the room first before we get into it?
What elephant?
Tell me how hideous this logo is.
Yeah.
Hideous.
Yeah.
Disgusting. It's probably one of the worst logos I've ever done. Honestly, this looks like stuff when I was taking my first semester in Photoshop. What people were making.
Hey.
This is a disgusting logo, and if they want to really make it, they really need to go and get a graphic designer to get them a nice, clean-looking logo. Because this one's horrendous, it's ugly, and I don't know how I'm supposed to take it seriously.
So based on the logo, it's going to be a failure, Albert, right?
Yes. It's going to take at least 2 more unions to really unify this. And to tell you the truth, to dig really deep in there, if they don't have a champion, I don't know how they're going to be that successful. That's the key thing here.
Yeah.
They got former champions, but you need a current champion to really strong-arm the UFC. Without a champion, I really don't see them floating on water.
Cameron, thoughts on this union announcement?
Obviously, from our Twitter result, I think, and I agree with the Twitter result, is it's going to be a success. I don't care what Albert says. They picked up the biggest name you can possibly pick up, and that's George St. Pierre. On top of that, you pick up the best heavyweight on the planet, named Cain Velasquez. You have to start somewhere. Someone has to get everybody together, and I think GSP is a great leader and a great example to get everybody else in the book. Now, of course, you want champions, but do you really need champions? No, you just need a very outspoken guy, someone that's media friendly.
Yeah, because GSP is so outspoken.
Well, he's a man of few words. When he speaks, people listen.
But when he speaks, he speaks with volume, right? And when he speaks, people listen. And I think that's what you need. Imagine if Demetrious Johnson was leading this, and the guy can't even get a pay-per-view, and now you want him to lead an MMA association. I think GSP is a great leader for this.
Yeah, also, Gamble mentioned a poll. We actually did a poll on Twitter, and actually 67% of the responders think that this will be a success, while 33% thought it was going to be a failure. So I thought it was kind of interesting, but I guess maybe it's the big names of GSP, Cain Velasquez. I think also Donald Cerrone was like a real surprise to me. During his press conference, he's like, I didn't write a speech. I should have, but he admitted, I'm scared, but I'm fighting in a couple weeks anyway, so we'll go from there. And I thought it was kind of interesting. They just specifically mentioned the UFC and the UFC alone. They didn't mention Bellator. They didn't mention World Series of Fighting, Legacy, RFA, King of the Cage. This association is going after the big dog in the UFC. So pretty much, why not call it the UFC Fighters Association or what?
I think Conor McGregor said it the best. Is a lot of people have bought into the UFC, the new sales group.
Yeah.
And they're making money off of the fighters.
Yeah.
How's that fair? And I think he made it perfectly clear that in UFC, it's so noticeable how much they take advantage of the fighters compared to Bellator. It seems like they try to give the fighters the best ability to make as much money as possible. off their fights.
Yeah.
Compared to the UFC, it's like, no, you have to wear this, you have to wear that. You can't wear. It's just there's just so much regulation in the UFC that I feel Conor McGregor said it best. We're the ones busting our butt, and yet we don't make as much money as these guys that are sitting front row watching us, battle it out and risking our lives, and they're the ones getting rich off of us.
Yeah, we have what Conan O'Brien and Ben Affleck invested money. What are they doing to better the fighters' lives pre, post, fighting career? So it is kind of true. Even Tom Brady's like ownership now, has part of the ownership. So what are they doing?
Wahlberg.
Yeah. So
there's a lot of celebrities that just sit front row making money off of these guys that risk their lives every day.
Yeah. Albert, final thoughts on this?
My whole thing is the NBA, NFL, they all have associations, right? But they have to do a big old process with the owners, and then the owners have to do a process with the actual NBA, and the actual percentage that they divide is a weird one. And the last thing I read was that the MMA fighters want a 50-50. That's not going to happen. Let's keep it real. But I guess it's a starting point.
But if you talk about other organizations, that's exactly where they start off at 50-50.
Yeah.
And after that, it's 49, 48, and stuff like that. But it always starts out 50-50. Everybody wants 50-50.
But come on, let's be realistic. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. And, well, realistically, that's pretty much where every organization is, except for, like, the NFL, I believe.
Yeah. I also think, too, one last point, the elephant in the room to Albert was Bjorn Ribney, the former he was ousted at Bellator.
Which
for Scott Croker.
And it's funny because I hear a lot of Bellator fighters disliking him.
Yeah, look, so this is a quote from King Mo. Right after the press conference was over, he posted a picture
Please watch
of
your
it.
language, Alex.
And he's like, you got 5 great fighters. You got 5 great fighters standing by one big D rider on the far left, and it's the far left is Bjorn Ribney. These boys are about to get finesse. F with him. People learn the hard way though. So I don't know if it's big. Obviously he used to work for the guy, but I mean,
can I say a final thought?
Yeah, go.
I think behind that is just that they couldn't get an executive to follow through on this, and this guy's probably like, man, I lost my job in Bellator. Like, what better way to stick it back to them?
Well, I think Tim Kennedy said it the best, which was despite what reputation Bjorn Ribney has. These fighters don't know what happens backstage as far as what deals have to be made, who has to get paid,
exactly.
Stuff like that. And even though Bjorn Ribney may not be the best guy, he has the insight to being an owner, president of an organization, what they look for, what they don't care about, stuff like that. So he has that inside scoop.
Yeah.
And so it's necessary to evil no matter who, what people think about it. And I met Chemo and Bjorn Ribney, and they were both outstanding guys to me.
So that's it for round number 1. We went a little bit over on that one. So we'll see what the future holds for the Mixed Martial Arts Athletes Association. We're going to take a small break and come back for round number 2, talk about the Tough 24 finale. But before we do that, I want to talk about one of our great sponsors in the 5 Rounds clothing line. They offer a unique collection of MMA apparel and accessories by incorporating the culture, style, and attitude of MMA. They're constantly evolving and improving and become the best fightwear company possible in the MMA world. Check out their line of t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and other great accessories at 5rounds.clothing. Follow them on Twitter at 5roundswear. That's the number 5roundswear. And on Instagram at 5rounds_5rounds. Get it on. So don't go anywhere. Round number 2. The reign of Mighty Mouse continues. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Time for round number 2. Tough 24 finale took place this past Saturday. It was the culmination of the flyweight tournament of champions. Tim Elliott, former UFC fighter with a record of 2-4, won the entire thing and earned a right to face the reigning pound-for-pound king of the world, Demetrious Johnson. And much to surprise everybody, I think Tim Elliott survived all 5 rounds. Right?
And almost won the fight.
Yeah, the very first round. So people say he won a lot of new fans that way. He is now 2-5 in the UFC overall. But is this how thin this division is, that where a guy is 2-5 and can just survive with the best pound-for-pound kings, now the number 1 contender, now the star of the division, Albert?
My whole thing is, I don't know if it was more Demetrious Johnson just not, I wouldn't say motivated, but like pumped up for this fight.
Was he like going easy on Tim Elliott, you think?
Because it felt a little bit I don't know.
He's like, all right, let's put on a show, kid. Let's put on a show.
It's something like
Is he that good?
but I did feel that Tim Elliott surprised a lot of people. He surprised me. I thought he was going to win in the first round for literally 2 seconds. I honestly thought that.
I thought it was going to be like a Matt Serra GSP upset.
Bring up the flyweight division. There's a reason why they did the Ultimate Fighter. I mean, they're literally saturated right now with the fighters because Demetrious Johnson has pretty much clean house. I mean, if he has 9 title defenses, right, and we have a top 15 ranking system, what does that tell you? That the guy pretty much cleaned up the whole category.
Yeah.
And it's sad because, like, now I think the only logical choice is to give Joseph Benavidez another shot.
I can't even. Guillermo, just thoughts on Demetrious Johnson and this whole flyweight division?
I just think it was a very positive event, to be honest with you. I mean, I think let's give credit to Tim Elliott. I mean, like, this guy was no longer in the UFC. He was able to work his way up. So if you think about that, that's a positive. And plus, whether Demetrious Johnson had a bad night or not, if you think about it, you could possibly see a rematch. There was success out of Tim Elliott to begin with.
Yeah.
And plus, I think the other success was the co-main event between Cojito and Benavidez, because there's no way you give Benavidez a rematch at Demetrious Johnson before we see a rematch with Cojito.
Yeah, that was a great fight.
Man,
Cojito,
they're throwing with some sauce in there.
Yeah.
And because I think everybody.
Oh, we lost Gabriel. So, Kenny Floyd made a good point post-fight about Joseph Benavidez. Yeah, he defeated Henry Cejudo, but he didn't see enough of an evolution of Benavidez where he thinks he has a shot against Mighty Mouse. And Albert, I don't want to. If you were in fighting shape, you'd be in the flyweight division, right?
Oh, of course.
So,
obviously.
Like, is that what happens when a dude your height has beef with another guy the same height? Man, those guys do at it, man.
Yeah, you know what's really, really funny is a lot of people like to talk smack about, like, height difference, whatever.
Yeah.
I always thought it was an easier fight for me if the guy was bigger and then the guy that was my size, whatever. Because the couple times I tangled with someone my size, I mean, it's a bloodbath. It's like, I was like, man, I wish I never faced this guy. I'd rather have the big guy.
I thought about my dude, like Albert would fight in the flyweight, and then these guys these guys went at it, man. You got to beef with somebody your height. But yeah, I think with I'm going to Guillermo about Benavidez here. It's like he hasn't. Yeah, it's almost a Chad Mendes syndrome, right? You beat everybody else except for the champ. What else do you do now? You just keep beating guys? Is that what happens? And hopefully someone else knocks off Demetrious Johnson?
The rematch is there because obviously it's very controversy, especially the way that he got deducted points.
Yeah, with Henry and Benavidez,
yeah. So, and whenever you have a division where someone's clearing it out, let's say the heavyweight division, the light heavyweight, log jams are actually good. So I think let's do the rematch right away as soon as possible, honestly, because the bad blood's there. Yeah. And I think everybody was talking more about that fight at the end of Demetrious Johnson not showing up against Tim Elliott. So let's do it, man. I think it's very exciting for the flyweight division, just that rivalry alone.
Yeah, I think the only wild card is Ian McCall, but this guy cannot catch a break.
Yeah, he can't get a fight
He
going.
actually had a draw with former champion. He lost a decision. He's the only guy I could think of who's new blood, but I think he has to get one win before he's up there, right, Albert?
Yeah, definitely. He definitely needs to get a fight out there to be considered. The only thing is, just like going back to Kenny Florian's point, there was no real evolve in
Benavidez.
I don't know if this was like maybe the first or second time he just uses Dane Ludwig,
he's back with that,
not the alpha males. But to tell the truth, when you see TJ Dillashaw did the full commitment with Ludwig, you saw a big change.
Yeah,
I didn't really see a big change in Joseph Benavidez at all.
Yeah,
and we always knew he was a tough fighter. He was a good striker and a good wrestler, but I didn't see anything else to be like, oh wow, that's the whole reason he moved his camp and. Now he trains with Ludwig, so I don't know how he's going to be. Honestly, I don't know how he's going to be Demetrious Johnson, but it is the most logical choice for that division, I think.
Yeah, that's it for round number 2. I agree with Gam. I think you got to run Benavidez and Cejudo back and see what happens there. So that's it for round number 2. We're going to come back and talk about Conor McGregor's boxing license. But before we do that, I want to big shout out to one of our sponsors who keeps us fresh and clean all the time, Rockin Green. Rockin Green is an award-winning manufacturer of eco-friendly cleaning products designed to make cleaning easier and greener. Rockin Green products are all natural and made with biodegradable plant-based ingredients. Visit rockingreen.com for more information and shop the great line of products, and they're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Rockin Green. So once we come back, we're talking about Conor McGregor getting his boxing license, and Albert's going to have a list of opponents he could possibly face and probably get murdered in the boxing ring. So should be fun. Don't go anywhere. Time for round number 3. Conor McGregor received his boxing license in the state of California last week, further adding fire or fuel to the flame of this Conor McGregor-Floyd Mayweather match. I think it's just trying to get a ploy to get more leverage over the UFC and his negotiations to better his financial situation. Albert, what do you think about this? Are we reading too much into it, or is he actually going to start boxing now? Or
to tell you the truth, it's a smart move, I think, because it's all about making them. I honestly don't see Conor McGregor in his mid-30s fighting.
MMA
in anything.
Anything? Oh wow!
Fighting, period. I think the guy is smart. I think the guy's intelligent, and he knows what he's doing. And he's just trying to capitalize right now while the iron's hot. And hey, a boxing match can potentially make him hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And then he can always go back to MMA, do a couple more fights, and call it quits.
Yeah, I mean, Guillermo, if you're a boxer and if you have a name, you're basically in business for yourself, right? You start your own promotion, or you're under a promoter who you can go 50-50, 60-40 with, right? And where you bank all this pay-per-view money. Is that correct?
No, I think, higher than that. I think 90-10. That's the way Conor McGregor works.
Yeah.
I think no matter if he wants to acknowledge it or not, I think he's learning from the best, which is Money Mayweather.
Yeah.
I think at this point, Conor McGregor is no longer motivated by competition. He's motivated by money. Mm-hmm. And
aren't we all?
Wherever the
aren't we all?
Wherever the money is, that's where he's going to go. Even if he loses, this guy takes everything serious. So I think it's not going to be as embarrassing as everybody's making it out to be. I think this guy is like 24/7 inside the boxing gym right now as we speak, because he's not going to be embarrassed, but he's going to give it his all. And I think once he gets what he wants, which is the money, then he's going to look for how do I get even more money. So the fight game is just to start. And he's always said this. I could see this guy owning a huge company where he's making billions of dollars, and that's all. I feel that's what drives him, that's what motivates him, and this guy will not stop until he gets it. So forget the boxing license and stuff. That it's just a stepping stone to where he wants to get himself to. Just think about where he started from and where he wants to finish, and this guy's taking every opportunity he gets to reach that goal, to become a billionaire.
McGregor promotion. So Albert, in MMA, McGregor is known for being a flyweight, which is a 145-pound limit, and a lightweight, 155-pound limit. So what are some of the top name boxers who in that weight class, that 10-pound pair that he could potentially fight?
Just to blow your mind, 170 is light heavyweight in boxing.
Oh, okay.
And right now they have a huge light heavyweight person who can probably go a little bit lower if Conor McGregor decides to face him. Is Andre Ward, who is probably like the most dominant guy I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
And he's light heavyweight, like around 170, but I'm pretty sure he can go down a little bit more because he even offered Triple G.
Triple G fights
Glover. He fights in the 140s, 140, 150. He said they can meet up potentially around the 160 area. So Underwood can definitely be in that category. Triple G is obviously in that category. And the guy doesn't get fights because nobody wants to fight him.
Yeah.
Because he's such a vicious thing. And obviously there's Canelo Alvarez. And then there's easy fights. I think that Conor McGregor can still make a spark. I mean, for crying out loud, Victor Ortiz is still out there. You can get Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto's a name. All these people, and if he wins over these guys, it's like legit stuff. People in boxing will recognize it.
Gary, what do you think about that?
This is what bothers me. It's not about who's going to get a shot at Conor McGregor. It's pretty much who Conor McGregor can make the most money out of. Forget all Andre Ward, Triple G.
Well, that's boxing.
Not making any sense.
That's boxing, though.
Forget the fighter. Let's
okay,
think about
I forgot him.
Promotion. Think about what he's gonna. What I'm thinking is, let's pick the promotion that's gonna give me the most money. Screw the fighter. The fighter is irrelevant.
You are the promotion though in boxing.
But but that's my point. I mean, Canelo's with the real person you should be talking to is Oscar De La Hoya.
For Canelo, anyways.
Money May, well, whoever he is under Golden Boy Promotion.
Yeah.
For that matter, because what you want is a promoter that's gonna sell the crap out of the fight. That's what you really want.
Yeah.
If you can get a like Texas Stadium where the Dallas Cowboys play and sell out that. Can you imagine Conor McGregor? Forget whoever you're fighting. Can you get a promotion that can sell that thing out? That's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So you want money promotions. You want Golden Boy promotions. You don't need. You can talk about Andre Ward and Triple G and all that. That's unrealistic if they don't have the right promotion behind them.
Yeah. Conor McGregor could get $100 million payday if he plays this right.
I really do think Triple G is the man. Because come on, but
if professional boxers don't want to fight Triple G,
because that's where but just imagine though, if for some odd reason, Conor McGregor can beat Triple G. No, let's just
okay, go for it. Go. Okay.
No, this
it will be mind blowing. No, it's not. I'll even point something out. Triple G allows himself to. I don't know if you guys know this. If you ever watch his boxing fights, he allows himself to get hit sometimes just to prove a point that he is the toughest guy out there. And I don't know. Give some free shots to Conor McGregor. Who knows?
Conor McGregor probably has one shot, one opportunity at a boxing fight. And you're gonna put him against Triple G, unless that.
Let's go for the cream of the crowd, dog.
Might as well, right?
Unless that fight gets him $100 million in his.
That fight will revenue $100 million. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
No, $100 million in Conor McGregor's pocket because
that's definitely.
Doing that.
I mean, he may ease into it. I don't know.
Like I said, if you want to ease
maybe
it,
we're just
Miguel Cotto's out there. Victor Ortiz is out there.
Why do you think he's going after Mayweather though?
What's that, buddy, hubby?
It's the money, dude. Forget the competition, Albert.
Honestly, give him Pacquiao, bro. give him Pacquiao.
Honestly, there's three names that stand out: Pacquiao, Mayweather, and Canelo. That's it. Nobody outside of that can get what Conor McGregor wants money-wise because Conor McGregor probably knows
Triple G's.
Unless he's
just a hard.
10 more years boxing, will he get multiple fights?
Triple G's like a fighter's fight fans fighter.
Let's just imagine that. Canelo versus Conor McGregor in California.
Script,
or Arizona, or anywhere.
How many opportunities did James Toney get when he came to the MMA?
He got one.
That guy was a bum when he got to the.
I'm coming for you, princess.
Hey, CM Punk's gonna get lucky to get probably a second chance. But if he doesn't get that second chance, what was his opportunity? One.
Yeah, one.
Conor McGregor split the script. He gets one chance at this.
Yeah.
He got to make it right.
Good point. Good closing out. That's it for round number 3. We went a little long on that one, but that's an interesting topic. A lot of meat on that bone. Maybe we'll have to revisit
you notice
it.
That I kept Albert quiet?
No, I was just respectfully listening.
At the time. We're going to take a small break, but hopefully we can revisit this and maybe get some boxing experts on the show. Actually, let's be a goal of ours, get somebody in the boxing world to talk about this. We're going to take a small break, then enter the championship rounds. But before we do that, I want to talk about one of our great partners in Redemption Martial Arts. The RMA Foundation is a nonprofit organization with the primary goal of bringing awareness to the bullying epidemic and providing people with accessible resources and training to help them combat all types of confrontation, whether it be physical, verbal, or online abuse. Team RMA consists of individuals from all walks of life who share a common passion for making a difference and serving as anti-bullying activists. Everyday person to martial artists, MMA practitioners, all of them have a passion for helping people combat bullying because it's a horrible, horrible epidemic. I mean, you hear in the news all the time, you hear somebody cyberbullied and just horrible. So if you're interested in becoming a member of the RMA team or want more information, please visit redemptionmartialarts.com. And they're all platforms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Redemption Martial Arts, Rise Up Against Bullying. We'll come back and enter the championship rounds. It's a small break. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back. Time to enter the championship rounds. The new UFC ownerships, WMEIN something. What is it?
IMGB.
They continue to make moves. Not very popular moves. Last week it was announced that they cut ties with Chuck Liddell and Matt Hughes from their positions. I'm not too sure what they did. You know what, Matt Hughes and something fighter liaison or
they're both vice presidents of something. Yeah. Someone was about operations and someone was about.
It was like a fighter relations, something like the fighter liaison.
Yeah, something like that. But they had a vice president.
Yeah, but we all knew that they just were paid to sit
and look pretty
cage side because they're Dana White and Fertitta Brothers homeboys. Rumor has it now that the new ownership of the UFC is going to cut costs everywhere they can cut costs. I mean, how many offices that they cut
Closed
by
down.
Internationally. So they're saying, you know what, we're done with this. We're gonna even try to make it more of a profit. And rumors about when their TV deal comes up in 2018, I believe.
Yeah, it's coming up.
That they're gonna also sell out all the production, where no more in-house production. Whoever buys the rights to TV and pay-per-views will actually be in charge of that. So let's say if Fox renews it up, it's all going to be a completely Fox broadcast, not no longer in-house, which means that if Fox doesn't want Mike Goldberg and Joe Rogan, they're going to get out. So are these popular moves? Are these going to hurt and with the Fighters Association, it seems like this new ownership, or the Fertitas, actually, you know what, we kind of sold at the right time. And is the new ownership helping them at all with the fans or legitimately, or what do you make of this? Because I think they're making a lot of kind of crazy moves, especially now in this whole Donald Trump election about save jobs. What do they do? The first thing is cutting jobs. So, I mean, I don't know. What do you make of all this stuff? I know obviously you want to cut costs. That's what happens in merger. Anytime you get acquisition or merger, people's jobs are going to get lost. But this is kind of a crazy rate right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though. When a company comes in, they always want to structure it the way they think it's the best way to structure it, or the most successful way to structure it. And that's what we're seeing, I think. They're pretty much making it very clear that we bought the name, but we're going to run it the way we think it would financially bring the most profit.
We bought the 3 letters.
Yeah.
We bought the
UFC.
Which kind of, for me, I think a lot. If you're the casual fight fan, you don't know too much about business aspects like that and mergers. But you think
a perfect example.
Why
is
if it's not broke, why fix it? I mean, it seemed like it's running pretty good, but they want to change, like you said, they want to change their. Go to your Dodgers point.
Oh, just that when the Dodgers were bought, people thought the same thing. Like, oh, we're finally gonna get new owners, some new whatever, and they just kept going where the last owner ended up and kept cutting the costs.
Yeah,
they only invest in stuff that's profitable, right? They kept the TV. They're the ones that made that horrendous TV deal with Time Warner. People want to, for some reason, blame the last owners of the Dodgers, but it was the new ones that made this horrible deal.
Yeah, well,
the reason why people can't even watch the Dodgers.
Yeah, I think they had too much. They thought the Dodger brand was worth more than it was because people aren't going to pay $5 to more to watch the Dodger channel around this country. So I mean, it's either the Red Zone or the Dodgers. People are going to pick the Red Zone. So I mean. Chuck Liddell, Matt Hughes are been fan favorites, but obviously when they got hired, we all kind of knew this is wasn't really a job. I doubt they reported in 9 to 5 in Vegas, right? So it kind of makes sense. But with this whole, I think with the MMA breathing down their back, and then Joe Silva left, all these people jumped ship.
Yeah, I think they all saw the writing on the wall. It just feels like this is what has to happen. I think, and they're going more for a profitable area. Yeah. But at the same time, though, it is a little concerning because it's like how far would they go as far as like I told you, going back to the dollar, how far would you go just to make the dollars instead of really caring about the product?
Yeah. I mean, Joe Rogan has been dialing back his schedule. It says because he wants to do it, but he's still very popular with the fans. I mean, I love the fact that we have Kenny Florian, Brandon Stan, Dan Hardy, Dominic Cruz, DC on there. I love that fact because I think they bring a new element to the commentary. But I mean, Joe Rogan and the UFC commentary are synonymous with each other. They're linked. They're yin and yang. They're together. Even with Mike Goldberg, I mean, these guys. It's gonna be weird for the fans for 20 plus years seeing these guys together. Like if it ain't broke, they'll fix it. And before the sell off, it didn't seem like it was broke to me.
And I won't worry until they announce that they're gonna look for a new announcer than Bruce Buffer.
Oh
that's where I draw.
I thought about that yesterday. I was like, they cannot get rid of Bruce Buffer.
Because right now I think it is changing the guard as far as announcer. I know Joe Rogan has a lot of fans out there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I really enjoy the switching between former fighters like Kenny Florian. I even enjoyed what's his name, Dominic Cruz on there.
What? You're surprised about that?
Brian Stan always does an A-class job.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I just maybe do a little less John Anik. That's just me though.
Yeah, I can do less with John Anik and his vicious stare as he interviews the fighter.
He does.
Why are you staring so hard, John Anik?
Yeah.
Why are you staring so hard?
I'm glad I'm the one who noticed that. But yeah, John, we'll see what more changes have in store. But I just think right now it's bad PR moves.
Yeah.
And for a talent agency, you'd think they would want to, handle PR moves, but I guess not. So we'll see. I mean, if it is about dollars and cents, then you can't stop anybody. I mean, $4 billion, I'm going to get that money back, I guess. So that's it for round number 4. We take a small break and come back into the championship rounds with round number 5. You look at UFC 206 and see who will emerge the new interim featherweight champion, Anthony Pettis or Max Holloway. Do not go anywhere. But before we do that, I want to give a shout out to one of our great partners in Fightbook MMA. FightbookMMA.com is the only place where you'll find real combat sports news from all over the world. A website you can trust with accurate news from MMA, kickboxing, and boxing, all the local promotions and worldwide ones: UFC, Bellator, World Series of Fighting, RFA, which is now LFA, Legacy Fighting Alliance, King of the Cage, Golden Boy Promotions, Lion Fight, all the good stuff. They're on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And make sure to check out their podcast page. We're on there under the podcast section. They have a lot of a great network of podcasts of all over the combat world sports. That's Fightbook MMA, FightbookMMA.com. So coming up, UFC 206. Look ahead. Don't go anywhere. UFC 206 will take place December 10th at the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Main event between Max Holloway and Anthony Pettis for the interim featherweight championship. It was supposed to be a light heavyweight title between Daniel Cormier and Anthony Johnson, but DC tore his groin muscle. He got pulled from the fight. Conor McGregor was stripped for this featherweight title. Now it's Jose Aldo's champion, and Anthony Pettis and Max Holloway will fight for the interim featherweight title. So this card have been scrapped or put on pay-per-view, or put on live TV.
We all know why it wasn't, because it looks bad that they keep canceling shows, especially a pay-per-view. Yeah. And that shows uncertainty. And but to tell the truth, no disrespect to Max Holloway
or any of these fighters on this card, but they're all more badass than I am.
Yeah, this is clearly a UFC Fight Night card. Yeah. Let's keep it real. Yeah. That's what we have here. A very solid UFC Fight Night card.
If this was on free on Fox Sports, I'd be legit.
Yeah, I'll be legit.
I'm watching
for pay-per-view. You got to put a little bit more sauce on there for me to cough up $60. Yep. Because right now that ain't no $60 worth right now.
It's amazing what the honest truth. It's amazing what free 99 does for you, huh?
Yeah.
If this card's free, I'm there. I'm not missing. I'm from the Fight Pass prelims to the main card on Fox Sports 1. I'm watching all of it. But for, like I said, $60, if I want HD 65, I'm not paying it.
And it sucks because when you think pay-per-view, you think the cream of the crop of your talent, right?
It used to be that way, but they have so many. They have so many cards now that
it's just kind of even UFC 207 with having 2 championship fights. I almost feel like I needed one more. And that's
not every card can be UFC 200, all right, or 205.
But see, you spoil the people. But then going back to the whole pay-per-view concept. I'm paying for a huge reason, or else they should be on free TV. Yeah. And I think this one really should have been switched. They could have kept the name UFC 206, but it should have really changed into a free one. Yeah. And I really want to see what numbers come out of this, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. So main event, Max Holloway versus Anthony Pettis. You got Donald Cerrone versus Matt Brown. Do Ho Choi versus Cub Swanson. Timmy Kennedy versus Kevin Gastelum. Jordan Mien versus ML Weber Meek. Zach Mavosky versus Dustin Ortiz. Valerie Letourneau, former champion contender, title challenger versus Vivian Pieri, and then a bunch of guys. John McDessie's on the card.
As you see the top lineup too. Where's the Canadians at? I bet you Rory McDonald's looking really good right now.
GSP wanted to be on this card, right? But they didn't want to put it together. So this could have been a really good card.
Yeah. Even if they would have put if GSP would have honestly, he would have saved this whole debacle right here. Yeah. One. Second, if you threw in Rory McDonald here, I think it would be better for the Canadian fans. Yeah. Again, it's a solid card. It's not a pay-per-view card.
Yeah. How do you see Max Holloway versus Anthony Pettis coming down?
I got Max Holloway winning, not only winning this, but going on and beating Jose Aldo.
I think he looks like he's only 25 years old, 9-0, but he's coming across like he's very PO'd right now, isn't he? Like this whole thing's like, dude, everybody's talking about everybody else in the division except for me. And I think this kid's been on everybody's radar for a long time. I think he's 25. You can enter your physical prime as an athlete with 25 to 30. And this kid, man, could be very dangerous. I think I like him, but then again, you can't really underestimate Anthony Pettis. Anthony Pettis seems better when his back against the wall. Yeah. When he has everything going for him,
that's when he looks the worst.
He looks the worst. But now that he's doubted, he even said too that I had a couple fights go my way. I want to become a 2-division champion. I mean, don't be surprised if he comes out and just puts on a fantastic performance and goes on to beat Jose Aldo. But I mean, I like Max Holloway here, but You
Yeah,
never know.
don't-
I might be. Honestly, I might wish watch back and forth this whole week until I'll make my final pick on Saturday
Yeah,
night. So.
don't get me wrong. When I think about this fight, I really do see this fight being like possibly the fight of the year. And with that said, it's still not a pay-per-view quality card.
Yeah.
But it's just mind-blowing to me that how often Max Holloway has actually fought. That's your thing too. I think you got to put into perspective. Max Holloway is not only on fire and young. The guy is so active. I mean, in 2014 he fought 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 2015 he fought 1, 2, 3, 4 times.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous how much this kid was active. People forget. And the last fight that he lost was against Conor McGregor. And
With the distance.
well, when he went the distance. But that just shows you like I think he's peaking at the right time.
Yeah, he went the distance when McGregor's knocking everybody out, right?
Yeah.
That was the only thing. McGregor, he didn't beat Max Holloway by knockout. Everybody else he beat by knockout.
And I know what everybody else is already saying out there. Well, Conor McGregor hurt his knee, but still, the fact is,
Hey, Max Holloway.
he's beasting it and feasting it.
Yeah, so then Don Cerrone and Matt Brown are fighting just to fight. And then you got Tim Kennedy versus Kevin Gastelum. Gaston's I think getting punished here.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
They're gonna fight a very ticked off.
Ticked off in a very big middleweight.
Yeah,
Tim Kennedy is the smallest middleweight out there.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna get a rude awakening that he needs to go and hit the gym and make sure his weight is on point.
Yeah, UFC 206, December 10th, the Air Canada Center in Toronto, Canada, live on pay-per-view. Max Holloway versus Anthony Pettis. I'm going to have Jose Aldo ringside, you think? Or can he get his visa?
They should. Oh, I know how. All these visas.
Yeah, so that's it for this week's show. Stay tuned and make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FiveRoundMMA. This is Fight Week, a big fight week. Subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube, and Podomatic. And please visit FiveRoundMMA.com, like us on Facebook, and all that stuff. I want to thank Guillermo Cedar for calling in from the Magic Kingdom in Orlando, Florida. Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, wherever's at.
Wherever, some kingdom.
Disney Resort, whatever. And Albert, what do you got?
Just that next week, Guillermo should be here live. So if you're tired of hearing him over the phone, you can probably watch next week and hear him crystal clear on his mic. And thanks everybody for listening.
Have a good one.
You are now listening to FRMMA Radio.